Ethics of the Man-Nature Relationship by Jessica Allen. We often view nature with awe and fear. We exploit it and covet it. We treat it as indestructible and fragile. When we want to describe a person as unstoppable, we describe them as a force of nature. We are threatened by and a threat to the natural world. With technology, we are finding new ways to detach ourselves from nature more than ever. These man-made technologies are having greater and greater effects on the natural world around us, whether or not we are a part of it. How we view ourselves in relation to nature affects how we treat the planet. This attitude influences those around us, the decisions we make in regard to the world around us, and how we teach the next generation in hopes to carry our values into the future past our own lifespans. Ethically, we have a wide range of values, from one set of extremes to the other, and everything in between. A major influence on our values and thinking is the religions we patronize. The major religions consist of Christianity, Muslims, Hindus, and Buddhists. Christian attitudes have recently shifted from being in command of nature to being stewards of nature. While emphasis towards the start of religion was not focused on the environment in specific, Christianity has always held the environment as part of its concept, not specifically recognized until modern scholarly research. This does not change the fact that many adherents to Christianity find little trouble in reconciling their belief to one that is harmonious with the environment. Although it should be mentioned that this varies based on sex. Islam has strong foundations for caring for the earth, as they believe that it is all a part of God's plan in the cosmos, and that nature serves man, but also a greater purpose, and humans are to be stewards protecting it. Like Christianity and other major religions, variations do exist among the various sects, and as to how much the relationship or stewardship toward nature exists in its basic tenets. Overall, the trend is neither the emphasis or depletion of the relationship between the tenets and the basic beliefs, as many environmental aspects are not writing or worded in the Quran, but are part of the precepts that are followed. Hindus believe that the planet is for all beings and that all have equal rights and values. Hinduism promotes the sanctity of nature. Trees represent attributes of gods, and their destruction is considered a sin. Many mainstream individuals view Hinduism as being harmonious with nature. This is not specifically the case, as it can depend on the deity and faith which is being focused on. Buddhism is also closely related to nature and promotes love to all living creatures. Furthermore, they advocate for non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion, falling very solidly into an environmental ethic. Buddhists try to promote an end to the suffering of life on all life on the planet. Of course, there are some blended or mixed versions that provide less of an emphasis. Overall, more mainstream religions have some element of environmental concept towards stewardship, but significant variations between different sects, faiths, and even among the individual practitioners. Of these religious philosophies, Christians and Muslims see themselves as stewards and apart from nature, whereas Hindus and Buddhists see themselves as inseparable from nature. This is, of course, roughly 3/4 of the religious beliefs. Our philosophies and beliefs present us with a foundation for viewing the world and our place in it. This, in turn, influences our ethical values and how we influence others. This influences our attitudes and how we treat the world around us and the representation that we put into power, so eventually influencing the policies and laws that we make and enforce. As unrestrained progress becomes more invasive and destructive to the earth, we face difficulties and challenges ethically in how to deal with the world that we are presented with. New advances should be viewed in the light of its relation to the environment and man's unique relationship within. This does not mean to suggest that technology is bad, when in fact technology can help deal with some of these challenges, but many advancements should be taken in the context of environmental ethical constraints. Some ethics that view humans as a part of nature are deep ecology, and to varying degrees, different animal and land ethics. Deep ecology believes that all living things have equal intrinsic values and rights, and broadens from philosophies to spiritual beliefs of self-realization and biocentric equality. Animal rights perspectives vary greatly. Altman and Wilson's interpretations of Kant's animal ethics are different, but both paint the picture that Kant believed mankind is separate from nature, believing that animals are not capable of rationality. Singer believed that animals should have equal rights with humans because both animals and humans can suffer. And Reagan, 2013, believed that animals and humans have equal intrinsic value. However, Warren, 2013, argues that animals can be treated badly if there's a justifiable reason. We have obligations to all life on the planet. We should place quantitative and qualitative limits on our damage and exploitation. Addressing international justice and equality, all nations should burden share in global problems with compensation to exploited lands and peoples, and a proposed World Environmental and Developmental Organization to counterbalance the World Trade Organization, according to Bordeaux, 2004. It is important to meet human needs, but not sacrifice the interests of non-human organisms and It is important to meet human needs, but not sacrifice the interests of non-human organisms, led by an ethical code. Humans are an interdependent part of the community of living things. The sustainable paradigm must be at the level of global ethics to preserve and protect the natural world which we all belong. The Earth Charter states that with increasing fragility of the planet, that humans need to realize that living things in the earth have a common destiny and strive for common sustainability and socially founded respect for nature, universal human rights, economic justice, a culture of peace. People should declare our responsibility to one another and a greater community of life on future generations. In conclusion, mankind is both a part of and apart from nature. We come from nature and are dependent on nature, the natural world, for our life and quality of health. We are awed by its beauty and subject to its disruption. We are unique animals in the sense of rationality, but we share an environmental suffering with our ecologies. We have the power to consider the lives of the planet and other planets and be stewards. But we are also under the same evolutionary pressures as the other life on the planet. While we should consider the environment in our actions, we should also look towards possible solutions, even if these might not seem to be ecologically sound at the outset of their introduction. We should bring about positive environmental change for the future. In other words, we should ethically consider both and strive for what's best for the planet. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you have a great night.